Culture is simply a shared way of doing something with a passion. With that being said, I would like to greet everyone a pleasant good morning. Well, I Lokeshwari, Assistant Professor from the Department of Human Resource Management, shall be your host for the day. I am great pleasure and the first and foremost duty on behalf of the management and department members. We warmly welcome you all to this valuable program who has clubbed at all of us for the second day of Faculty Develop Program on Emerging Trends in HRM. Dear participants, we appreciate you taking time off your busy schedules to join us for today's events. We assure you that you will learn a lot today. We have lined up you for to be fruitful and engaging. Now we are geared up for our program. I would first like to recognize and acknowledge our speaker for today. We are fortunate that we got an expert who knows more about building strong company culture. It's none other than Dr. Mohan Cherian, Professor, MBA, CMR University. Sir, we are privileged to have you here as a resource person. To begin the auspicious occasion, I would like to invite our department of the head of the department, Dr. R. J.M., who has constantly have been the pillar of strength and source of motivation. Ma'am, I request you to formally welcome the gathering. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Lokeshwari. Learning is not the product of teaching. Learning is the product of activity of learners. With this wonderful quote, a very good afternoon and welcome to you all for the second day of our 5 days faculty development program on emerging trends in HRM on behalf of the Department of Human Resource Management in association with Academic Staff College, Dr. MGR Educational and Research Institute University. Heartfelt thanks to our founder Chancellor, Dr. A.C. Shanmugam, and to our Honorable President, Engineer A.C.S. Arun Kumar, for their never-ending motivation and support. Hearty welcome to our speaker of the day, Professor Mohan Cherian, Head Department of Management Studies, CMI University, Bangalore. He has 25 years of experience in devising and delivering complex business strategies for large international brands and national brands. Mohan Cherian possesses exemplary organization planning and administrative skills. Besides, he is a versatile and knowledgeable speaker. We are so happy to have you today with us and welcome, sir. Pleasure is mine to thank our Joint Registrar, Mr. Prabhu, Dean Academics, Dr. A.R. Arnachalam, Dean Administration, Dr. K. Sendil Kumar, and to all the executives, deans, HODs, faculty members, and all others for their motivation and support for us in all the ways. Welcome and thanks to Mr. Ganesh Babu for his wonderful technical support in making all our program a grand success. Company culture has taken on a new level of importance since the pandemic, which has driven a revolution in work expectations. Employees are leaving their jobs in droves, driven by events of the past 18 months to find better work-life balance, fresh opportunities, and follow new career paths. This is so-called great resignation means companies everywhere are having to work harder to retain their talents. And a key part of that is creating a strong culture. Indeed, a study which has been conducted before the pandemic found company culture to be the biggest drive of employee satisfaction ahead of factors like pay and benefits. Organizations which place employees at the heart of their digital transformation today will be the market leaders of tomorrow. Workers are demanding more from their employers, and technology is essential to seizing the opportunity to evolve your organization. By implementing solutions that improve the workers' experience and enhance efficiency, they can gain the competitive advantage of a sustainable and productive workforce. Every organization has to utilize the technology and human capabilities in a way that no one else can, helping companies develop a holistic workforce strategy, which in turn insights into intelligence and intelligence into action. The rule of the game have changed in this moment of choice and consequences. It's critical to set a bold destination for the next horizon. Our world is transforming from shifting industries and remote work to social unrest and economic uncertainty. It's time to plan for what the future holds for any business and for the most valuable asset of the workers. To make know much more about the modern about this topic of our building culture, how to build a culture inside an organization. Today we have with us an eminent speaker, Mohan Cherian. Without taking much time, I welcome you all once again for this 5 days faculty development program on emerging trends in HRM. Hope this session will be an enriching one. Stay safe, stay healthy, have a great day.
For your honest welcome address. Now, without further ado, we will turn the time over to introduction. I now call upon Ms. Vasanthi, Deputy Dean of Academic Staff College and Assistant Professor from the Department of Human Resource Management, to introduce our eminent speaker. Over to you, ma'am. Now, without further ado, we will turn the time over to introduction. I now call upon Ms. Vasanthi, Deputy Dean of Academic Staff College and Assistant Professor from the Department of Human Resource Management, to introduce our eminent speaker. Over
So,
to you, ma'am.
uh,
Now,
thank you, Logeshwari.
we will turn the time over to introduction.
A good teacher
I
can
now call
inspire
upon Ms.
hope,
Vasanthi,
ignite,
Deputy
and
Dean of Academic
imagination,
Staff College and
and
Assistant
instill a love
Professor
of learning.
from the Department
I
of
would like
Human
to
Resource
present our
Management,
guest speaker, Professor
to
Mohan
introduce our
Cherian,
eminent
Head of the
speaker.
Department,
Over
MBA,
to you, ma'am.
CMR University. Thank you, Logeshwari. With 25 years of experience in devising and delivering complex business strategies for larger international brands and national brands, Mohan Cherian possesses exemplary organization planning and administrative skills. Mo- Mohan's vision is to enhance young individuals in the pursuit of excellence. His expertise spans in the wide range of industries, including fast moving consumer goods, consumer durables, supply chain management, textile services, which give him a holistic approach in his pursuit to understand and appreciate the end to end techniques of business and team management. He focuses on simple activities that can make a huge impact on young people and positively influence their way of thinking to take them to new pattern of wisdom. As a professor in management studies in Bangalore, in India, he creates a synergy and inspiration in work in approach building strong rapport with students, colleagues, and administrators. He possesses outstanding communication skills, presentation skills, and excellent classroom management to recognize and encourage individual growth that brings in transformation to younger generation of students. Further, during his stint in South Africa, he is an active member of the Lions Club from the president of Francistown Club in Botswana to the regional chairperson for the four countries under the District 412, Malawi, Mozambique, Zimbabwe, and Botswana. He was instrumental in bringing millions of dollars worth investments from the Lions headquarters, Chicago, apart from raising funds locally for starting eye hospitals, clinics, and provision of education, healthcare, basic services to the underprivileged of the region. Travel to more than 10 countries, raised to work, education, and charity services. During the free time, Dr. Mohan engages himself in activities useful for the community and social work and leadership, roles aiming as well-being of the young and inspiring individuals in the city. His research interest in the field of service, quality, born in the June 1970, Dr. Mohan's motto is to strive for perfection in everything he does and a role of model for the next generation. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, madam. Thank you, madam. Now, the most awaited time has arrived. Without any further delay, I welcome our guest of honor and speaker of the day, Dr. Mohan Cherian, to proceed with this presentation. Sir, we request you take over the session and enrich us with the knowledge. Sir, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Professor Logeshwari, for that warm hosting of the program for the day, and Dr. Vasanthi, Deputy Dean and Assistant Professor, Department of Human Resource. In fact, it's a great privilege that I am talking to the esteemed colleagues or professors of Dr. MGI University. I deem it as a great opportunity to interact with you. I hope I'm visible and audible to all of you. I request all of you to mute for better audio-video quality. I would like to share the screen. I hope I'll be given the permission for it. Is my screen visible?
No, sir, your
I'm
screen is
trying to
not.
share the screen. Yes,
No,
I'm
it's
trying to
not
share it.
visible.
Yeah.
Still no, it's not visible, sir. Yes, sir.
Visible?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. I am Professor Mohan Cherian, Head of Academics, MBA, CMI University, Bangalore. The culture of a company, it is the sum total of the behaviors of all its people. I want to tell you a real life story that happened a few years ago in my life. For your information, I'm not a born teacher. I was in the corporate sector for almost 2 decades in India and abroad. While I was working abroad, I had a job offer from one of the competing firms that is actually the market leader, a very successful, fast moving consumer goods company in the southern African continent that employs professionals from all over the world, around 50,000 people. So obviously, it was my first day and I was very keen. That day was very memorable, my ladies and friends, my friends. I was greeted with a welcoming smile by the managing director and a team of managers in their boardroom. Obviously, I was asked to introduce myself, and it was a turn of the managing director to speak. One of the most memorable welcome I ever had and experienced. He told me that that's the boardroom where they run their businesses regularly, dealing with production, planning, distribution, people management, and ensure all their customers are happy. My audience, dear friends, it's a multi-trillion dollar company, a French South African multinational. The words of the managing director put me at ease at once, and I still carry it in my heart. Do not carry worries in this organization. We have a solution for all the problems as we work together. That particular statement and his attitude and body language was a rest assuring myself that is the right place for me to work for next number of years. People of our age, some of you here attending the FDP today would appreciate that we have a second or third career in our life. Some of us. This was not the case in case of our parents. They joined one of the government departments, worked there for several years. Most likely, they retired after 30 years of long service. In my case, and some of your case, we have changed a few jobs. There's a change in the way things are working in this generation of ours. We are ambitious and we need to be respected, acknowledged, and listened to. Otherwise, we look for other employees. People, I would like to talk from my heart. The PPT is just a guidance for you to, see and understand what I'm speaking. In a nutshell, culture plays a very key role in retaining great talents. Now we are going to deliberate on organizational culture, and the focus will be these points. What is culture? Where is it seen? How best it is visible in the organization? Why is it important? Possibly the various a few types of cultures that we have seen and experienced. Is there an exceptional culture that we can experience or implement? How do we experience it? Most important, the work life balance, creating culture, step by step process of looking into it, how we can build it, recent trends. These are things which we are going to deliberate. I would like to caution you something. Please do not try to remember all these things. It'll be really great if you can remember at least one or two points after my session. Look for one aspirational moment and take it home. That aha moment where you feel, yes, this is what I can do to build a great culture in your own little ways in your department or in your institution or in your university. Take that point with you. It's impossible to recollect what all I am going to present today when you need it the most, but I'm sure what impresses you the most, you can take it and implement it in your own institution. You look at what is company culture now. You would appreciate that you look at these three things in the form of a machine, behaviors, values, that stuff. Your company may use instant messaging software, Slack, WhatsApp. There are many. Throughout the day, you would be talking to people to make them come together. You yell at your coworkers to get your point across. Your systems and behaviors give employees the rule of the road for interacting with the business and each other. And remember, company culture is often something you can feel even as an outsider. I can recall the first time I walked into the lobby of a company as an external person. Approached the door, employees who were walking in, passing by, made eye contact and said hello. They're smiling at me. The employee behind the desk greeted me warmly, offering me a cup of coffee and a comfortable seat. There was a distinct positive energy in the building. My first experience as a guest gave me the taste of how they do things around there. In the year 1996, I bought my first cell phone from Bangalore Nokia showroom. All the men and women in the showroom in their typical corporate red color outfit were greeting the walk-in customers. I became curious and I was reading their quality policy, which is there on their wall, just to check if the employees know their quality policy. I asked one of the junior employees to tell me the company policy, and she recited it in verbatim, even without looking at the wall where it was displayed. If I ask you what's your organization or institution's vision or mission, how many of you can tell me without referring anywhere? Again, another story. I went up to the country in the year 1999, and at the exit of the airport in that particular place in Botswana, after the immigration check, I walked out of the gate and was warmly welcomed by the staff, saying good morning and how are you? I was astonished. First time I am landing in the country, and this was my very welcome surprise. So even outsiders can feel it in your institution. How do you deal with students, parents, other stakeholders, alumni of your university, medical college? How do you deal with patients and their feelings and worries? How do you reassure them care and comfort they're looking for? This defines the culture of the institution. This is quite interesting. We all would like to know, where does organizational culture come from? How to identify it? The best way to do it, to identify it, is to ask employees. Don't we ask our colleagues after we join a new place how things work here? Even after we are transferred from maybe one department to another department, we ask them, how are you treated in this institution? Do they value people who are real performers? Are they reliable? Do they value good employees? You will hear some people describe a company culture with statements like, people are willing to talk to each other, they're very friendly, they share what they know and take proactive steps to get in touch with the right person. And here, people always come first, don't worry. Cool perks like unlimited vacation time, innovative policies may help shape company culture, but they do not make a great workplace. The experience of your people does it. Of all the ingredients that make up organizational culture, the most important variables are how employees communicate with each other, and the rest of the things you can see on the screen. I would like to read for a couple of seconds. Organizational culture is, in fact, the glue that holds a company and its employees together. And if you allow me to say this, it's a magic that provides motivation to employees to find ways to overcome challenges and get things done. In a nutshell, remember, it is not what you do, It is how you do it. How good is it in your organization? Your organization culture is only as good as the people in it, ladies and gentlemen. And as leaders, as department heads, as dean, as director, as head of departments, as professors, as teachers, as admin staff, you get the behavior that you reward. Please don't forget this. If you promote gossip, you get such a team around. If you promote merit, openness, such will be the group advising you. If you want to instill fear psychosis among the key people, that's what going to transfer till the security guard at the gate. Don't forget, the culture of an organization is shaped by the worst behavior the leader is willing to tolerate. So, if you want a company culture that is congruent with those noble aspirations written on your walls in terms of vision, mission, and quality policy, you must continually assess how well your employees are behaving compared to those aspirational values and develop ways to bridge the gap between aspiration and practice. I believe the best way to do this is to directly reinforce value driven behavior, including making it an integral part of employees' reviews and weighing it as highly as performance. Are you a pleasant manager when people come to you? Do you talk to them with a smile? Are you yourself self motivated? Do you support transparency? Employees, do they feel valued? I mean, your colleagues. Is there open communication culture in the department, or do we hide facts? And are you listening to the voice of your employees? These are things that we must ask today. Obviously, company culture is very important because it directly affects the performance on key metrics, including finances, employee retention, innovation, and customer service, which are the major challenges we face in any institution or organization. Financial returns will be highly rewarding. I'm sure you don't want me to dwell upon it. Employee retention. Imagine in certain organizations, the employee turnover is very high. Money is spent on retention, advertisement, recruitment. The lead time is very high. Customers suffer. The n number of problems when good employees do not get retained. And when a workforce is diverse and the company culture is inclusive, equitable, and rewarding for employees, people are willing to stay at the company for a longer time. You know, the millennials, for example, are 11 times more likely to leave their company than Gen Xers if the needs for purpose at work are not met. The millennials are between the age of 26 to 41. Gen X is 42 to 57. So you can see the interesting, uh, trend of people within different age group. Innovation. What is innovation in culture? When employees experience inclusive leadership, behaviors, and systems, I must tell you they are better poised to speak up, share ideas, and adapt to change. This is what we say a culture of innovation is important. You know, the best ideas come from the ground level staff. If you have a culture of open communication, if you promote transparency, when you are the head of the department, most of the crisis you can look upon your supervisors, your junior staff, encourage them. Many times they come up with such innovative ideas to resolve your issue, and you work as a team. I have many personal experiences, businesses, running into millions of dollars, perishables. We have a problem. The best answer solution comes from my supervisor. So you have to promote culture of open communication. Let them make a couple of mistakes. Encourage them. Let them come up with ideas. Promote them. Improve transparency. Next cardinal point is customer service. Many studies, as you and me know, confirm that employee happiness translates into employee efficiency, creativity, and productivity. This in turn has the same effect on customers. So all these things play a crucial role, and they are key components of a company's culture, and they're very critical because they affect these main metrics. There are several types of corporate cultures which we experience in the place of work. I would like to touch upon the most popular work cultures. You know, if a family like or tribe like type of corporate environment exists that emphasizes consensus and commonality of goals and values exist, it is the clan culture, as the name suggests. One or two examples: Google, Zappos. And clan cultures are the most collaborative and least competitive of the four other main corporate culture models. And people obviously tend to work in such institutions. Let us look into the second one. If your organization allows to operate in a more flexible manner, if it offers a sharp contrast to more formal styles of decision making, this flexibility can work well in fast changing industries where organizations that can identify and act on new opportunities the fastest have a competitive advantage. This is advocacy. I'll make it simple. It's an organizational culture that promotes entrepreneurial open systems that value innovation, risk taking, bringing new products and services to the market, and staying on the cutting edge of the market. Examples of companies that may have advocacy culture are Tesla, DoorDash. Next one, if an organizational model is based on clearly defined corporate levels and structures, and if the culture is a type of organizational culture in which items are ranked to levels of importance, then it is hierarchy culture. One of the typical examples is the military, because it's all about individuals working to perform certain tasks or roles within a particular rank. In the military, each rank reports to the one above it. One of the benefits of this is that each individual has a clearly defined role and path to achieve success. Have you ever heard a lieutenant colonel refusing to take the orders of a major general? It's very unlikely. It's very unlikely. The last one here is all about profit margins and staying ahead of competition. Of course, it's market culture. It is results oriented with a strong external focus to ensure customers are satisfied. Examples of companies driven by a market culture are Tesla, Amazon, and General Electric. In a nutshell, remember, for any organization to thrive, it requires vision and strong company culture. And look at the beautiful words. Company culture is a continuous pursuit of building the best, most talented, and the happiest team we possibly can. Is your company culture exceptional? We must ask this question every morning. Is your department culture exceptional? Is there communication? Open communication? No sarcastic communication? Is there great sharing of ideas? Do we encourage people to take risk? If all these three things are combined, that becomes a great fuel for innovation. My friends, my fellow professors, create a high trust culture that encourages all these three pillars, and you will be one of the best institutions. How do we experience it every day in our life? I think I have spoken about it a couple of minutes ago. We observe it when we go to a new hospital, a new hotel, a new restaurant, when we go to a new business, when we deal with services. We observe, we ask questions, we listen, and we converse. We experience what is happening. It cannot be brought in from anywhere. You have to build it. And of course, we can change the culture if we change our behavior. It is possible. It's not constant. I must assure you, it's not constant. If our behavior changes, the culture changes. I'm sure. I've experienced it in many organizations. And it depends on the leader. A lot depends on the leadership. The leader is friendly, communicative, caring, compassionate, empathetic. Those values will run down the entire rank of the organization. So you can change culture if we change behavior. How do we find perfect balance here? We hear a lot on work-life balance. In fact, I would tell you an anecdote. My nephew, who is a young chartered accountant, 23 years, he joined a very good multinational with excellent perks, remuneration. He had offer from another multinational IT company, one of the leaders in the country, a public sector company where life is very nice, you can relax, welfare oriented even till today. He asked me, is there work-life balance better in this particular company you want to join? Because that's my preference. Imagine he's just 23 years, just starting his life and career. You see, getting mails in the evening where you're supposed to be spending time with your kids, where you're supposed to be having dinner with your family, or whatever it happens to be. As leaders in the company, if you give these small nudges to people of not bothering them after office hours, unless it's an emergency, we can provide reminders and guidance and balance for them in their lives that end up really having huge rewards over time. Always remember your own team members have home lives, personal passions and ambitions. Respect these human aspects of his employees and offers the flexibility to pursue balance between work life that is energizing. The company that understands and appreciates the importance of creating a positive, friendly attitude will have a balance between life and work life and personal life. Trust, respect, and honesty. Three very strong points and pillars of creating a great company culture. In fact, I was reading a note from the Human Resource Management Society a couple of days ago. Their report states respectful treatment of all employees is the number one contributor to job satisfaction. We have definitions as HR professionals, isn't it? But respectful treatment of all employees is critical. Trust between employees and senior management is a second. What an amazingly simple idea for a surprisingly common challenge, my friends. This means that above all perks and management tricks, if you allow me to say that, treating each other like people is what really matters. Whether you are starting a company or part of growing one, developing a culture of respect and trust should be the priority. Listen to each other. Again, communication is the core of human relationship, and it should be no different with your colleagues. Open a dialogue by listening and making people feel comfortable sharing. In the same way you nod to someone to show them you're listening, make sure employees know you are listening by communicating the findings of any feedback they have provided. In my personal observation of companies, it stood out to me how intentioned feedback efforts can backfire if nothing is done with the new information received. Employees want to know that their voices are not falling into a black hole. If you can't make the recommended changes, simply explain why. Friends, it's difficult, it's scary, but transparency like this goes a long way to create a culture of respect, trust, and honesty. Help each other. People who respect each other help each other. In your departments, you can experience it. They support each other as employees and as people. Not only does this mean that employees will have richer, more positive relationship of work, but also when there's a culture of support, employees won't be afraid to ask for help. This ultimately makes everyone more comfortable and effective in his or her job. This is quite interesting. Creating an exceptional employee experience. Encourage your leaders to anticipate greatness from fresh talent you are recruiting. No one should feel like they have to prove themselves to anyone else ever. Your new hired employee is brought on board for a reason. They've already done the work to get there. Their merit, their hard work, their smart approach. They have the qualities and skills needed to add more value to the team and bring it closer to the mission. If you ask me, here are a few ways to prepare the company to give you a warm welcome. Ensure, as department heads or as leaders, articulate how the company's success and shared purpose is accelerated by new hires. Make an announcement that celebrates new hires, unique gifts, and who they are as human beings to help your employees get to know them. Invite new hires to write a few words about themselves so that team members can identify any shared interest or interest that excite curiosity. Connections happen quickly when there is more than just work to share. The new hire buddy, assign somebody that embodies your company culture. Your new hire needs a friendly face to go for clarity and guidance about the business. A buddy system should include regularly scheduled check ins. Let them go and see their welfare. Let them ask them questions. Let them make them feel comfortable. Give them a space where they can ask comfortable questions, not in a group, sometimes personal. Be intentional about the buddy system I'm referring to. An ideal new buddy is someone who embodies the organization's core values, acts as an ambassador of the business, thrives as a go-to guide for others. There should be a go-to person in your department, in your institution, in your organization. You retain better people and better talent. And the buddy must genuinely want to enjoy and being a part of the journey others are on. Encourage virtual coffee meetings, even real coffee meetings. I recall one of the incidents. Me and my colleague, a German colleague, very tough, very disciplined, very productive manager. There is, problems in the department. We fight with each other to resolve it. There is friction and faction. This happens even in educational institutions. We need to get things done. Some of them, don't reach that level of perfection. And there is exchange of words. There is a lot of heat. In the evening, we go for a cup of coffee, and over the coffee meeting, things are resolved. This will definitely accelerate team fellowship, friendship, understanding. And it's a casual meeting, and it's outside the office premises. We can connect with a greater picture, and then we become understanding to each other, and we take our goals and mission forward. Remember, these are all, each organization is unique, and it depends on your convenience and comfort regarding these informal meetings. And how do you do that? If it is in a remote meeting, like if it is on online life, you can have an informal talk, a chat with all your friends when we are especially in the lockdown scenario. So that affects the ecosystem of the organization than ever before. The ERG model, as you know, is the Employee Resources Group, is a repository for knowledge of people where you can share learnings that will foster a sense of friendship and understanding, because everyone in the group can relate to one another. It's better when the new hires are in different roles, because learning in one role could be beneficial for everyone in the group. And you can provide prompts for the group meetings to have more intention or allow for free form discovery and natural conversation. It's all about connecting. It's all about building a great network. It's all about knowing your team member. Share the opportunities of your department, of your business, of your organization. No businesses has perfect processes in place, and there's always room to improve or grow as the world around us constantly evolves. Leaders and individual contributors alike should always voice what's not working, especially if your company is new to operating remotely in times of COVID. You would appreciate nowadays, most of the organizations are struggling to bring people back, multinational companies. There's a hybrid mode of working. People from the parent companies are coming, and our local employees are not reporting for work. See how things can change. A remote environment is always a challenge. And in fact, that's how we are now connected. I am sitting in Bangalore, you are in Chennai, and we are still connected. There's a checklist that we have to make for the new hires to assess their needs and confidence in different areas. Avoid expectation of know everything by a certain date by your colleagues or by your juniors. Embrace the way they learn and journey, help the journey to reach in a pleasant manner. Celebrating milestones with a proper shout out on your communication tool. Celebrating birthdays, anniversaries, achievement of their children, or their milestones of maybe completing a research or publishing a paper. These are all small little things we all enjoy as teachers. Wow. Best people versus right people. On a lighter note, I would like to ask all of you here, have you all married the best person or the right person? In organizations, it's difficult to have the best people, but we can have right people. Right people do the job, not essentially the best people. Most of the time, we go for very highly sophisticated, high fund up people, and they may not be the right person to perform the job they are assigned to. Then we have to appoint right people below them to get the work done. We have experiences like this, isn't it? So, best people is a notion that's at times difficult. Right people in the organization make life easy for us. How do we build effective corporate culture? Start where you are. Whether you have 5 employees, 50 or 500, there's no better place to start than where you are already. Initiate conversations with your employees about what makes your workplace distinct, different, unique. They will give you the language around what makes your culture tick. Define the boundaries. Effective company culture, I must tell you, doesn't happen by accident. So once you have a pretty good understanding of what's working in your workplace, apply your aspirational vision. What is the ideal picture? Work towards it, dream about it, talk about it, practice it. What is the experience you want your employees to have? What do you want customers to say about your company? What behavior is in bounds and what is out of bounds? Based on employee feedback, we can create some golden rules that will suit to a particular situation. We can have a clear kind approach and make things work most of the time. Modeling the way. This is where leaders must step up to move beyond words into action. Your mission, your vision, values often reside on the wall, framed, but the company culture is how you achieve those ends. If integrity is a core value, make sure everyone knows what it means to act with integrity. If transparency is the core value, make sure you demonstrate what transparency looks like. And remember, you are either building, breaking, or rebuilding trust in every interaction with employees. So make your actions very conscious, very planned. Measure the progress. I want to tell you, even our best intentions may fall short of producing the desired employee experience. So make sure you are getting a regular feedback from your colleagues, from your customers, from your end consumers, from other departments. Treat each other department like a consumer, like a customer rather. You know, the thoughts, recommendations, change ideas. The more you ask, people will help you to improve your business. Monitoring and analyzing employee feedback can be done regularly. There are very easy platforms, and that will help guide your strategic HR decisions. Like to just quickly touch upon the recent trends. Growing importance of technology. COVID just struck us without any warning. You're all back at home. We don't know how to take classes. We don't know how to treat patients. We don't know how to solve customer problems. We didn't know how to conduct examinations. We overcame all this. Importance of technology that is ever changing, adapting to it is extremely critical for retaining the culture that you are building within a number of decades and to improve further from there. Technology increases its significance as we see more interest in holistic, custom crafted solutions that provide the flexibility to customize, change, and scale programs in order to fulfill certain employee centric needs, customer centric needs. And this is applicable throughout any organization. The work from home culture, that is something we experience of late in the last couple of years. The government constraints, the effects of COVID, willingness of business to safeguard the safety and health of workers, which we have been hearing over the last 2 years. These are all things which have a direct impact on company culture. We speak about productivity, safety, the essentials of remote working, certain essential services were allowed to work, co-working spaces. These all help maintain social distancing and health work environments while not having a proper office environment. The preference of flexible work schedules. The 10 to 6 work culture, which our parents and some of us have adopted. In recent times, these have become, an old concept. People are choosing flexible working schedules. The demand for flexible work arrangements is so deep that some workers say they would prefer flexible schedule rather than the other schedule, which is fixed. This is being followed, this culture rather is being followed by many organizations, and we are seeing the emergence of flexible work schedules a lot. Some of the governments, has given a shining Monday program. You don't have to come for work on a Monday morning. There are in certain countries, if today is a holiday, tomorrow is also a holiday by default. If Friday is a holiday, Saturday is a holiday. Let's say there is a holiday on Monday, even Tuesday is a holiday. These are all few things, which we can look upon depending on our situation and surrounding. New age communication tools, less said the better. Our kids know better than us how they are, harping on it and how they are reaping the benefits. Few of them, our platforms which we use for communication. This has gained momentum over the last 1 year, making it easy and fast for effective communication. And the industry has a plethora of reliable remote team video conference tools to make daily communications work better. Back to importance of work-life balance. I told you people are looking for work-life balance. That has a very positive effect on their well-being, their goodwill to the company. The increasing focus on mental health cannot be undermined when I speak about it. That is gaining a lot of momentum in the recent days. And actually, work-life balance act as a great catalyst for organizations to flourish. People are looking for it. There are people who negotiate all Saturday holidays. Certain people are given privilege for that. Part of work-life balance and take care of the parents, children, and such personal needs. The employee well-being, I'm sure there is no need of much deliberation on it because the pandemic has taught us the importance of it. Again, physical fitness, child care, elder care, flexible work arrangements for workers, all these play a critical role in employee well-being, starting from health insurance policies to more holistic view of employee well-being. Ultimately, this will ensure better workforce sustainability going forward. Gender equality and its contribution. I must tell you, I'm not adding fuel to a fire that is non-existent. Equality between women and men is not a new issue, but it has certainly refused to fade away also. The movement toward gender equality is teaming up, and we expect that corporations will continue to delegate executive roles to women in the coming years. Therefore, enterprises are all out to exploit these advantages, and the gender gap is narrowing day by day. Social purpose becoming a priority. In the corporate world, a lot of things are changing from an employee's perspective post COVID. Job seekers today want businesses that display sincere commitment to uphold values and emphasize social responsibility. It's no wonder through community service and working with like-minded group, many businesses build social purposes. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to share a very short example quickly, 2 minutes. The community service program from our university has become a great hit. The students are all touched looking at the plight of orphans. Through community service, they learned to be very sensitive, and we are taking up a lot of programs on this. The entire students of the university are doing in a semester 25 hours of compulsory uh, community service. It's a graduate requirement, and they are enjoying it. So it is really hitting headlines, social purpose, even for students at such a young age. Increasing popularity of the gig culture or the gig culture. People can work freelancing, they have their own time, advantage, their schedule is free, they have flexibility to choose the business they want. Upskilling. The global workforce is changing. Workers have become mobile and looking for stable companies. Upskilling and preparation have come to the forefront of the company agenda everywhere. Training and upskilling will certainly foster top talent and help sustain high performance teams. Automation in the workplace. The evolution of artificial intelligence and machine learning has allowed employees to, in fact, harmoniously coexist with technologies. And this is easing our life. Companies are also discovering that artificial intelligence and machine learning offer greater advantages than disadvantages. As a consequence, the businesses worldwide are gradually introducing artificial intelligence, and with time, it's going to increase at a rapid pace. Soft skills. Although the future of the workplace is very dynamic, one thing is very certain with high gear digital transformation. The transition will remain constant. It's almost certain that emphasis will turn to soft skills as technology takes center stage in the transformation of the workplace. Soft skills such as analytical skills, written and verbal communication, and leadership skills are important for both workers and managers alike. Simply put it, soft skills help foster the human connection needed for high performance teams. As a result, companies are increasingly putting emphasis on the development of soft skills. This is the end of the session. I would like to ask for any questions and answers. This is a question and answer session. You are free to ask questions, ladies and
Yes, sir.
gentlemen.
With your permission, we will go ahead and take some question. Time for
Oh, sure,
questions.
please. Go ahead. Yeah.
Dear participants, just a reminder, please be sure you type your questions in YouTube chat box.
Meanwhile, I would like to thank the entire Dr. NGI University for giving me a wonderful opportunity to interact on company culture. I thank the president of the university, the chancellor, the dean academics, deans and directors, registrars, head of departments, all professors, and all teaching and non-teaching faculty for this wonderful session. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I'm sure you would have at least one or two takeaways. Any questions, please, you can ask or you can chat in the box as it deems fit.
It seems there is no questions. Your session is very well understood by everyone. I think.
Thank you very much. Yes.
Okay. Um, Sir, anything else you wanted to cover before you wrap up, sir?
I'm done with my presentation from my side. I'm happy. Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir, for delivering a wonderful and informative session. Your session was highly successful in the sense that it reached all the participants effectively and helped them to understand more on that culture cannot be bought, it can only built. We can change culture if we change behavior and recent trends in cultures. Appreciation is the highest form of encouragement. Our resource person, Dr. Mohan Cherian, has lived up to our expectation, has given his best to enlighten the participant with his deep knowledge and profound abilities. It hence became a bond, privilege, and duty on behalf of esteemed university to appreciate him for the selfless sharing of knowledge to the academic community. I request our technical person to display the appreciation certificate as a token of our immense gratitude.
Thank you very much.
There is an end to everything, but we believe that there is never an end but always a beginning. Thus, to conclude for today, I request Ms. Amuda, Assistant Professor from the Department of Human Resource Management, is eagerly waiting to express our gratitude to everyone. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, madam. Good afternoon to everyone. No duty is more urgent than that of rendering thanks. With that being said, today I take this opportunity to express my deepest gratitude and appreciation to all of those made this event such a resounding success. I deem it honor and privilege to propose a vote of thanks on behalf of the Department of Human Resource Management for the second day faculty development program, building a strong company culture. Heartfelt thanks to our management and to our Honorable President, Engineer A.C.S. Kumar, and all other executives for rendering their support for conducting a various program. A special thank to our eminent speaker of the day, Professor Mohan Cherian, for his wonderful and valuable engaging sessions related to building a strong culture. It was an eye-opener for all of us to make no comfort that a company culture is a combination of its vision, value, and internal behavior. Thank you so much, sir, for your presence and for sharing the information on building a company culture. Hearty thanks to our joint minister, Mr. Prabhu, and the Dr. A.R. Arunachalam Academic and Dr. K. Sindhil Kumar Administration Phase II Campus for their continuous support in completing various programs. It's my honor to thank our HOD Dr. J.M. for providing me opportunity to deliver out of thanks. Special thanks to the energetic participants for your presence and their continuous support. It's a privilege to thank Ms. Lokeshwari for her wonderful mastering of the program and also thank Ms. Vasanthi for introducing our chief guest. It was a stunning performance. Last but not the least, heartfelt thanks to Mr. Ganesh Babu and Mrs. Ramya, Assistant Professor of HRM, for her wonderful technical support, and I thank to all others who have supported us already. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. We couldn't have done this successfully without our participants and our speakers who spare their time attending the faculty development program. Thank you very much for the support you are rendering to all our programs. We have come to end of the program. Hope everyone has gained knowledge with the satisfaction of presenting FDP. We wish to sign off and meet you in the next program. Don't forget to subscribe our YouTube channel and also follow our department Instagram, and we are also available in Facebook, Twitter for further updates about our programs and videos.
Dr. NGR Educational and Research Institute, University, Mother of all Chennai.